Hi, everybody. This is Bill Recheduled back at Yankee Stadium as we get set for the second game of this twilight doubleheader. And in case you missed the first game, a brief recap. The Yankees won it 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. The Yankees had 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Angels, no runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. Fritz Peterson now has won 12 and lost 7. And Rudy May, the loser, he has won 7 and lost 8. And the Yankees have now won 7 out of 9 and are 18 and 11 since the All-Star break. So they are really going great guns. And the Yankees scored their runs. One in the first inning. Clark's single was sacrificed to second by Munson, and Roy White drove him in with a single. And then in the third inning, with 1 out, Munson singled and Mercer singled. Roy White doubled to center field to drive in 2 runs. So Roy had a hand in all 3 runs, driving in 2 runs and scoring 1. The other run was driven in by Ron Swoboda's ground ball with the bases loaded. So that's the way the first game ended, and we'll be ready with the starting lineup in just a moment.
Taking a doubleheader on a hot summer day, and you'll know how the bleachers got their name. Before you know it, you've got yourself a scorching thirst. A thirst for a couple of beers. So today, there's only one beer that'll do. Shaker is love. One beer to have when you're having more than one. Shaker pleasure doesn't fade when your thirst is done. The most rewarding flavor in this man's world. People who are having fun. Shaker is love. One beer to have when you're having more than one.
I was going to be all alone the first 3 innings. So, Frank, you got the lineups?
All right, Bill, we'll run them down right now. Leading off for the California Angels and playing second base, Santos Alomar. He's had a good series, 4 for 9. Mickey Rivers will be in right field and bat second. Rivers had a pinch hit single in the first game. Ken McMullen will be at third base and bat third. The number 4 hitter, left fielder Billy Cowan. Cowan in left, went 2 for 3 in the opener. Jim Fregosi at shortstop, and his long layoff certainly hasn't seemed to hurt his timing with the bat. He's had 4 for 7 in the first 2 games of the set. Jim Spencer will be at first base. Batting 7th and playing center field, Ken Berry. John Stevenson will catch. John had a couple of doubles out here night before last. He's 2 for 4 in the series. And the pitcher will be Tom Murphy. Murphy, a right-hander. Now for the New York Yankees, Jerry Kenney will lead off and play third. Jake Gibbs, batting second, will do the catching. Bobby Mercer in center field hitting third. Roy White will bat cleanup and play left. Ron Bloomberg will be in right field and bat fifth. At first base, hitting sixth, Felipe Alou. Horace Clark will be at second base and bat seventh. Clark has had a good series, going 4 for 9. Frank Baker replaces Gene Michael at shortstop in the second game, and he'll bat eighth. And the pitcher is Mike Kekich. Kekich with a record of 6 and 6. Tom Murphy has a record of 6 and 13. And now, as you can hear, the Yankees take the field. Phil Recheduled, it would appear that the California Angels are a little bit more vulnerable to left-hand pitching than are the New York Yankees. The Angels against left-handers have won only 14 while losing 23, including the first game of the series. The New York Yankees against left-handers have won 20, lost 27. So the Yankees make that now 21 and 27 because they beat the left-hander Rudy May in the first game. The Yankees against left-handers are 6 games below 500. Against right-handers, they are 7 games above. And it's been a long time since the Yankees were as much as 2 games above the 500 mark. They'll try to do it right now. Yankees currently with a record of 59 and 58. Right now, this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
WGY, Schenectady, New York.
looking back, Phil, to see when the Yankees were 2 games above 500. And so far, I have not found it. I don't know. I don't believe they've been 2 games above 500 this year. Just a cursory look back through the records. So a shot at it right now, and Mike Kekich will try to do what his southpaw buddy Fritz Peterson did in the first game, although Kekich has not had a shutout this year.
Come close twice.
He certainly has the one-hitter. He pitched a one-hitter and lost it. The one hit was a home run. He lost the shutout. He won the ball game, but he'll settle for a win, I'm sure. Ready for the first pitch, and here's Phil.
All right, Sandy Alomar up, swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, strike one. Alomar's batting .265, and in the first game he went 2 for 4. Alomar with 132 base hits. Switch hitting second baseman. Kekich winds. The pitch is fouled just to our right, back on the screen, and it's 0-2. On deck, Mickey Rivers. Very exciting young ball player with the Angels. Beautiful, beautiful weather for the first game and for this second game. Pitch by Kekich is swung at and missed, strike 3. He went after a high fastball that took off. So Kekich gets a strikeout, the first man he faces, and it'll bring up Mickey Rivers, who in a pinch-hitting role in the 6th inning of the first game, beat out a little tap in front of the plate. He can really fly, batting .259. Left-hand batter. Holds the hand slightly apart on the bat. Swing and a miss with a curveball. Strike one.
This is a kid, Phil, that gets down to first base in 3 1/10 seconds. I believe the same time that Mickey Mantle had going down to first at one time.
I don't think there's anybody that has ever done it any faster. Another swing and a miss. Strike 2. That is really quick.
I think I'm not a good mathematician, but if you would project that over a mile, it would be like running a 3-minute mile.
Sidearm curve foul, just got a piece of it. He really had him fishing for that one. So Mike has thrown Mickey Rivers 3 different pitches. He has moved up on home plate now. Chokes up on the bat. Wind up by Mike. Sidearmer, he held up, and Gibbs thought it had hit the corner, was going to throw to third. But Nestor Shylock says no, ball 1. All right, Mike ready again. Overhand this time and struck him out. 2 strikeouts in a row for Mike Kekich. And what a difference it's made, Frank, with Mike when he's pitched fairly regular in a turn.
That's right. Mike had a good second half, especially a good final month or 6 weeks last year. That's why, because he was pitching regularly.
Well, Kekich continues to claim that if you put him in the starting rotation, he'll be a winning pitcher for the Yankees. Ken McMullen checks his swing and fouls it off, strike 1. McMullen in the first game went 1 for 4. He doubled in the 9th inning. Ken batting .254, 15 homers, 50 runs batted in. On deck, Billy Cowan. Second game just underway. Change-up, bounce to third, one-handed by Kenny, and throws him out. Oh, Jerry Kenny caught that ball without even looking at it. So it's 3 up and 3 down, and at the end of 1/2 inning, the Angels nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat.
Here's good news for folks who use rental trucks or trailers to move their household furnishings or for miscellaneous hauling jobs. U-Haul dealers now honor Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge cards for local and one-way rentals. No cash deposit is required. And you can include furniture pads, tow bars, and other moving aids, too. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. And if you're planning a move soon, stop in at U-Haul for a free copy of the U-Haul Moving Guide. It shows how to plan your move, how to pack, and how you can save money. Remember, with U-Haul, you can move now and pay later. Just use your Bank AmeriCard or Master Charge card at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Murray's Service Station, 170 Church Street, Route 67 North, Amsterdam. Bellevue Motors Incorporated, 1902 Broadway, Schenectady. Porter's Esso, Altamont Boulevard in Helderberg, Altamont. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you. Well, now the California Angels take the field, and the right-hander Tom Murphy is ready to work. Murphy has a record of 6 wins and 13 losses. He is making his 27th start of the year. Comes into this ball game with a rather high earned run average of 4.01. And Jerry Kenny batting in the leadoff spot, playing third base, ready to lead off against him, and here's Bill.
All right, Frank. Tom Murphy delivers a pitch to Kenny. It's strike one call. Jerry didn't get to bat in the first game. He went in to play third base in the last inning. A long, lean right-hander. Kicks, delivers, swing, and a foul back on the screen. Jerry hitting .249. No homers and 14 runs batted in. Yankees won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. The pitch low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Talk about Murphy being tall and thin. He is. He's 6'3", 180 pounds. 25 years old.
Very relaxed, and Kenny asked the time just as Murphy started to wind up.
This is Murphy's second start against the Yankees. He pitched 7 innings out in Anaheim. Gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, walked 5, and struck out 2.
All right, a one-hopper right back to the mound. Murphy up with it, flips to first base, and there's 1 out. Stevenson is doing the catching in this second game. And Jake Gibbs, who's catching the second game for the Yankees, steps in. Jake hitting .200, 4 homers, and 17 runs batted in. To play Gibbs just about straight away. First pitch is high, ball 1. On deck, Bobby Mercer. Thurman Munson in the first game went 1 for 3. There's a pitch low, ball 2, 2-0 to Gibbs. Jake stands deep in the box, open stance. Murphy winds, and a pitch low and inside, ball 3, 3-0.
Murphy lost that first start to the Yankees and Stan Bronson, 3-2.
All right, so he's been rough in his other start against the Yankees. The pitch right down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. Didn't have much on that pitch, and figured Gibbs would be taking. The 3-1 delivery. Ground ball to second base. Alomar one-hands it, wheels around, throws to first. Beautiful play by Sandy Alomar. How he located first base at all is a mystery. He one-handed it, turned around, and while he was turning through to first, took a base hit away from Gibbs.
You know, for a non-athlete, that's hard to do. Just try it sometime. Go as fast as you can, say to your left, stop, and turn around. And pick out a target that quick.
Unbelievable. All right, here's Bobby Mercer. Bobby went 1 for 4 in the first game and scored a run. Batting .335, checks his swing on a low curve, ball 1. No score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The first game was a real fast game. The 1-0 delivery, a curve in there this time, 1-1. Oakland beat the Red Sox 9-2, swept the 4-game series up there, and for all intents and purposes, knocked the Red Sox right out of the pennant race. A 1-1 pitch, lined, and a one-hand grab by Alomar again. That ball was hit right on the nose. Alomar was going to leap, then didn't have to, just reached up and got it. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 1 full inning. It's California nothing and the Yankees nothing. The list of things you could learn about pro sports is endless. There's a unique jargon and a technology that most people will never understand. The same is true about engines and the kind of people that keep them running. They have a language all their own and a technology that few people ever had the time to learn. It takes a special kind of guy to learn all there is to know about cars, especially when it comes to getting good mileage. And you'll find them at any ARCO service station. They know that if your car isn't getting the mileage it should, one reason may be that your carburetor isn't clean enough. They know that ARCO Supreme gasoline will help keep deposits from clogging the air passages in your engine. Deposits that can cause your car to waste gasoline and cause you to lose mileage. If you're running out of gasoline when you don't think you should, drop by an ARCO station and ask the man who makes a living servicing cars. He knows about mileage because that's his job. You may not get that much more mileage on ARCO Supreme gasoline, but sometimes a little more is enough.
That clinic Saturday will start at 1:15. So mark that time down. That is not the usual time for the pregame clinics here at Yankee Stadium. 1:15, though, this Saturday. And the Yankees, of course, will be playing the Oakland A's. Run no score at the end of 1 inning, and now we go to the top half of the second, and Billy Cowan up there to lead things off. And this guy hits left-hand pitching pretty good, Phil.
Yes, he does. He went 2 for 3 in the first game against Fritz Peterson, a double and a single, and right now he's batting .320. So Mike Kekich struck out 2 of the 3 men he faced in the first inning. The pitch is low, ball 1. Billy Cowan, whose biggest trouble when he was in the National League and with the Yankees was striking out so often, has cut down on the strikeouts. There's a foul off Gibbs' net and back into the seats. It's 1-1. They play Cowan straight away. Change up way out in front, strike 2. Cowan could not stop the swing. Was way out in front of the changeup. A ball and 2 strikes. Kekich takes his cap off. Now gets the sign from Gibbs. Curve broken back, grounded to second. Clark is there. Up with it. Over to first base in time. 1 away. Hit him right on the hands with a curveball. And it brings up Jim Fregosi. Fregosi went 2 for 4 in the first game, batting .204 with 4 homers and 17 runs batted in. Jim Fregosi, who in some papers has been named as next year's manager for the California Angels. But, of course, denied by everybody. Pitch to Fregosi is high, ball 1. On deck, Jim Spencer. Fastball is over the outside corner, 1-1.
You know, when these stories come out, it's bound to be a little upsetting to a ball player.
Oh, to the ball? How about the managers? There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. I know it has to bother Fregosi because it looks like something's been planted, and maybe he had something to do with it and kind of feels awkward with the manager. I'm sure they explain things, but you got to feel sorry for the managers. They got Preston Gomez and Bill Rigney and Lefty Phillips out ready to go. Line to left field, and Roy White coming hard. Makes the catch as he slides down on one knee. And there are 2 out. A sinking line drive down the left field line. 2 out. That'll bring up Jim Spencer, the left-hand hitting first baseman, hitting .235, 14 homers, 43 runs batted in. Spencer went 0 for 4 in the first game. Peterson struck him out the last 2 times up. Both in tough spots with 2 men on. No score, top of the second. Pitch to Spencer is high and tag ball one. Leonard Coppett from the New York Times is the official scorer tonight. Playing Spencer for a pull hitter. Curve in the dirt, backhanded by Gibbs. It's 2-0. On deck, Ken Berry. Those Tigers are red hot. They beat Milwaukee 4-3. Mickey Lolich won his 19th game of the year, and they're now in second place. The American League East. Curve is low, ball 3. Three nothing on Spencer with 2 out and nobody on. Fastball is in there, strike called. Kansas City shut out Washington 2-0 in the first game, and Cleveland beat the White Sox 6-2. Well, the Mets lost a heartbreaker last night in 12 innings to San Diego, 1-0. The 3-1 delivery. Foul back and out of play. The upper deck.
You know, Phil, those Tigers have now won 13 out of their last 17 ball games.
Boy, they're starting to put it all together. And, of course, it's not too late. Baltimore had one bad streak there. And you never can tell. And never give up. All right, a full count on Spencer. The payoff pitch. High, way high. First walk, first base runner for the Angels in their second ball game. And it brings up Ken Berry. Hitting .204, 3 homers, 19 runs batted in. Berry went 1 for 4 in the first game. Stretch by Kekich. Fastball is in there, strike one call. Felipe Alou at first base holds the bag against Spencer. Change up loop in a shallow right field. It'll be in for a base hit. Ronnie Bloomberg loses his cap, but up with the ball in a hurry and holds Spencer at second base. Right off the end of the bat in shallow right. The first hit off Kekich. It'll bring up John Stevenson, the catcher, who did not play in the first game. Stevenson batting .250, 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. Well, those Oakland A's couldn't have given Dick Williams a better present, Frank Messer, than winning 4 straight from the Red Sox, who fired him.
That's very, very true. I know Dick's a happy guy right about now. This ball club coming in here to Yankee Stadium with a lot of momentum after the sweep up in Boston.
Well, they really opened that race wide. Kansas City was very close to them there for a while, but now they are 13 and a half games ahead of Kansas City. All right, left-hand hitting John Stevenson, choking way up on the bat. Runners at first and second, 2 out, no score, top of the second. Frank Baker bluffs Spencer back. The pitch is line to right field. Bloomberg, though, is there and reaches up, makes the catch. Hit right on the nose, but right at Ronnie Bloomberg. For the Angels, no runs, a base hit, no errors, 2 men left. And at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Angels nothing and the Yankees nothing.
Centuries ago, in the little town of Wetzlar, Germany, a young man opened an inn and began brewing his own beer. The young man's name was Johann Schaefer. And even though Wetzlar already had plenty of inns and plenty of beers, his became a great favorite. Today in America, Schaefer is still a great favorite, because Schaefer has a unique quality of consistency that no other beer can match. Flavor that doesn't fade, glass after frosty cold glass. And that's the story of how one man's beer became the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Well, over in the National League, St. Louis at Pittsburgh just getting underway, and St. Louis failed to score in the top half of the first. Steve Carlton will pitch for the Cardinals in that game, and Luke Walker for the Pirates. All the National League action tonight. And Baltimore and Minnesota will be a later start. Kansas City and Washington now scoreless in the bottom half of the second. Clemens for Kansas City and the rookie Pete Wilberg for the Senators. Phil?
All right, Frank, Roy White, who had a perfect game in the first game, a single and two doubles, a walk, drove in 2 runs and scored 1, and has raised his average now to 289, takes a strike. Murphy winds, the pitch is butted. It's a good one. Stevenson up with a throw to first. They got him. Good play by John Stevenson. Roy White had a little too much backspin on that ball. It hit the ground and came back towards the catcher. Fine play by Stevenson, 1 away. And now the hand for Ronnie Bloomberg. Ronnie did not play in the first game. He's batting .343. 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. He and Felipe Alou during the first game were down in the Yankee clubhouse practicing their swing. Neither one played in the first game. Alou is on deck. Here's the pitch to Bloomberg. Bounces slowly to first base. Now Alomar up with it. Flips to the pitcher, covering just in time to get Bloomberg. Good heads-up play by Sandy Alomar and the pitcher, Tom Murphy. So there are 2 out, and now Felipe Alou, hitting .274, 4 homers, 52 runs batted in. Let's see, Felipe has got something going, hasn't he, Frank, with RBIs?
He certainly has. Felipe Alou has at least 1 RBI in his last 7 and in 12 of his last 13 games.
All right. 2 out, nobody on now. The pitch to Felipe is low, ball 1.
He's had 16 RBIs in his last 13 game appearances.
All right, he and Danny Cada have been red hot in that RBI department. They play Felipe straight away. No score, bottom of the second. Yankees won the first game 3-0. Murphy winds. The curve is inside. Ball 2, 2-0. No wind at all blowing. All the flags hanging just straight down. But it's a beautiful night. Very comfortable. Fastball is right in there. Strike called, 2-1. Horace Clark on deck. Murphy, with one leg bent, takes a little too much time. Felipe Alou stepped out of there. Now they're ready. The 2-1 delivery. Just outside, 3-1. It's a tough pitch by Murphy. The way he starts throwing the ball, looks like a right-hand batter have to kind of bail out of there. He's going to throw it right at you. Now the 3-1 delivery. Low, ball 4. So the Yankees get their first base runner of the ball game. And that's how the Angels did it with 2 out in the top of the second. Spencer walked. And then Berry singled. So now Horace Clark. Horace in the first game was 1 for 4. Single, scored a run in the first inning. Batting .244, 2 homers, 31 runs batted in. Alou has 3 stolen bases. Pitch to Clark, high and tight, ball 1. Stevenson jumps out of there in a hurry with a runner on, ready to throw with every pitch. On deck, Frank Baker. Murphy sets. Foul off his foot and right over the Yankee dugout, and that hurt Horace. There's been a rash of them this year. All balls off the toes. And Mr. Charlotte makes sure Clark feels all right. Clark nods his head, so they're ready to go. Spencer holds the bag against the loop. Go over there, Felipe back. Good quick move by Murphy. Murphy set. There goes a Lou. He had a running jump. The throw is not in time. I said it was a bad slide by Felipe Fregosi, pounding the ground with his glove. Actually, a Lou beat the throw there, but his slide, he stopped short of the bag and then reached out with his hand to tag it. And Fregosi had an arguing point, but he's safe at second. It's a stolen base. For Felipe, his fourth of the year. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Horace Clark. Felipe actually had a running jump that time. Look at Fregosi. He is still mad out there. A lot of times the runner will beat the throw there, but sometimes the slide is not a good one. All right, 2 men out. The pitch to Clark outside with a curve, 3-1. No score, bottom of the second. Stretch by Murphy. Fastball, ground ball up the middle, base hit. Alou is around third. He will score, and the Yankees lead 1-0. And Ken Berry pulled off almost a good play there. He bluffed the throw home, hoping Clark would round the bag and go to second, but he did not. So Horace Clark comes through with an RBI single, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
And Jim Fregosi was really letting Art France, the second base umpire, have it again.
No kid.
Oh, yeah, he was on him the time that ball went to center field.
All right. So the Yankees got a break, capitalized on it, and now Frank Baker playing in place of Gene Michael. The stick getting a rest in his second game. Baker batting 125. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Quick throw to first, and Clark dives back.
It's been a good series for Horace Clark. He's gone 5 for 10 now.
Very good. He has 13 stolen bases on the year. That was his 110th base hit of the year. And 32nd RBI. The stretch. Check of the runner. The pitch is sliced foul back into the crowd and out of play. Strike 1.
Horace Clark has 117 lifetime stolen bases for the New York Yankees. And guess who he is tied with for 13th spot on the all-time Yankee list?
Don't tell me.
No.
No.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. All right, here's the stretch. Throw to first base, and Clark is back.
Somehow I never pictured Babe Ruth. I never thought about Babe Ruth as a base stealer.
A lot of people didn't, and he could actually run very fast. I'll never forget seeing him when I was a kid here at the stadium. He had that, well, it was an unusually shaped body that he had, a tremendous chest, stomach, and very thin legs like a racehorse. The pitch to Baker is outside, and it's 1-1. He also had a fine throwing arm.
I've seen him in films that, are not too clear, of course, going back to those years. It looked like he took very short steps.
He did, almost like twinkle toes. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Clark leads away. He's ready to go, but a quick throw to first. He has to come back. He had ideas that time. And Spencer bluffed the throw and then reached back to tag Clark. A lot of trickery here tonight. You missed the first game. Fregosi stuffed the ball in his back pocket and tried to get Clark to move off the bag. Low and inside, 2-1. Frank Messer asked me, and that's a good question. Suppose Clark stepped off the bag and Fregosi just backed into him and touched him with the ball in his pocket. Would he be out? I would be inclined to say yes, but I got to ask the umpire on that. The pitch is hit in the air to left field. Billy Cowan pounding the glove is right there. makes the catch. But the Yankees do pick up a run on a base hit, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 2 full innings, it's the Yankees 1, the Angels nothing.
If you're going to move, why not do it yourself with U-Haul, as more than 6 million families do every year? Save as much as 50% or more of the usual cost and move at your convenience, not someone else's. U-Haul trucks and trailers are available in a full range of sizes. There's one that's just right for your move. You can rent equipment from your nearest U-Haul dealer and leave it with a dealer in your new neighborhood, even if you're going clear across the country. U-Haul has low one-way rental rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. And cargo insurance is included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a moving guide that helps plan your move and makes the job a lot easier. Stop in at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Seipel's Golf, 640 Paulding Avenue, Troy. O'Brien's Atlantic, 112 Broad Street, Waterford. McCabe Shell Service, 670 Hoosick Road, Troy. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you. Well, don't forget, tomorrow night the Oakland A's are in here. The ball game will start at 8 o'clock. Mel Stottlemyre, who got rained out yesterday, will be pitching tomorrow night's ball game for the New York Yankees. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
This is WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady, New York.
Tom Murphy leads off against Mike Kekich. The Yankees lead 1-0, top of the third. The pitch to Murphy bounced over the head of Kenny, but foul. A Baltimore chop over Kenny's head, and this Murphy batting 143, but he has 8 base hits, 3 of those hits doubles, and 6 runs batted in. It's a pretty good cut at the ball. He has scored 4 times right down the end of the bat. There's a fastball high, 1-1. On deck, Sandy Alomar. The 1-1 pitch. Curve, swing and a miss, strike 2. Kekich rocks back. Fastball is low. 2-2. Mike has kind of a strange follow-through in that his left leg, which is the back leg, when he delivers, doesn't come all the way forward. Kind of about halfway. And that's high. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Leaves Mike in good position, I would think, to field the ball right back up the middle.
Absolutely. And although it is a little unusual, it doesn't bother him one bit. The payoff pitch bounced to third base. Kenny knocks it down, picks it up. The throw, not in time, throws it away. And let's see, a fan touched it. He's going to be allowed to go to second base. Now, that was a tough break for the Yankees because that ball would not have bounced into the box. It would have hit the railing and bounced to Alou, and let's see if they give him a hit and an error or whether it will be a double error. It could very well be. Now they're going to give him a hit and an error. An infield hit as Kenny, ranging far to his left, got the glove on the ball, then picked it up barehanded and his throw way wide of Alou, and when it hit the railing of the box seat, the fan reached over and grabbed it.
The Yankees had 2 men there that could have made a play on him to second base. Not only Alou, but Ronnie Blomberg had raced all the way in from right field, and he was backing up the play.
Well, that's good. I know he would not have gone to second because he had run right straight down the line. Well, that's why Bob Shepard makes the announcement here, and that's why we tell you kids and fans sitting in that first row, don't touch a ball in play unless it bounces into the seat. All right, Sandy Alomar struck out his first time up. Murphy at second, nobody out. Alomar started a bunt, thought he drew the bat back, but Nestor Shylock says no, and it's strike 1. It was a curve low, almost in the dirt. So Alomar wants to get Murphy over to third. where he can score on a base hit or a fly ball. Murphy with the jacket on at second. Stretched by Kekich. Pitch, swing and a miss, and he was trying to go to right field. 0-2. On deck, Mickey Rivers. Yankees out in front, 1-0 here, top of the third. Mike taking a long look in for the sign. He's ready now to the belt. Pitch bounced to the shortstop. Baker to his right. Bobbles the ball. Can't make a play. I don't know whether that hit Frank in the chest or the chin. But it'll be an error on Baker. So consecutive errors by Kenny and Baker have run it at first and second with nobody out. And the batter, Mickey Rivers, who struck out his first time up. And the Yankees will be looking for the bunt now, and this kid can fly. Mike has given up one walk in the ball game. He's ready, and now the payoff pitch. Fly ball, that'll get a run home. Bloomberg going deep is under it, makes the catch. His throw comes into second base. Tagging up and scoring is Murphy. Tagging up also from second and going to third is Alomar. Holding at first is Rivers, and the score is tied. 1-1 on a long sacrifice fly to Bloomberg by Ken McMullen. So Murphy scores, aiding his own cause, and now Billy Cowan, who bounced to second his first time up. That's what that speed will do for you. Alomar was able to tag up and go to third base. And Billy Cowan, not too slow of foot. The Yankees will really have to hustle to get that double play. Runners at first and third. Pitch to Cowan. Strike one call. On deck, Jim Fregosi. Kekich checks the runners. Low with a curveball, 1-1. Yankees won the first game 3-0. Hit in the air and not too deep center field. Bobby Mercer coming on Baker's back. Baker makes the catch. Alomar tags. He busts. Holy cow, if he'd have kept coming, he would have scored. And going to second is Rivers. Heads up play by Mickey Rivers. Alomar tagged up, came better than halfway down the line. Had he continued, he would have scored. Rivers tagged up, and when Baker's throw was high and made Gibbs come back to get it and reach high, he continued on to second base. That was a break for the Yankees, Frank.
It certainly was. And as you said, if he kept coming, there would have been no doubt that he would have scored. Baker then saw him coming, realized he had hesitated too much, uncorked the ball in, and he was way wide of the plate with his throw.
All right, they're going to put Fregosi on an intentional walk and load him up for Jim Spencer. They're going to give Baker an error on his high throw to the plate, allowing Rivers to go to second base. Well, the Yankees have made 3 errors in this inning. Spencer is the batter. He walked in the second inning. The bases are loaded with 2 out. The ball game tied 1-1. Frank Baker has been charged with 2 errors in this inning. Jerry Kenney 1. Pitch to Spencer. Line to right field. Bloomberg coming on and makes the running catch. Oh, that ball was hit on the nose. Bloomberg got a good jump and caught it right in the breadbasket. The Angels score a run on 2 base hits, 3 errors by the Yankees, and 3 men left. And at the end of 2 1/2, it's the Angels won and the Yankees won. You know, one of the nice things about owning a car is that you can travel whenever you get the urge. To the beach, the mountains, or just to the store for the daily necessities. Wherever you drive, you'll be burning gasoline, and you may be burning more than you should. One reason is that your carburetor may not be clean enough. There may be deposits that can cause your car to waste gas and cost you mileage. If this seems to be happening to you, if you're not satisfied with the performance you're getting, you should know about Arco Supreme gasoline. Arco Supreme helps keep deposits from clogging the air passages of your engine. Deposits that can cause your car to waste gasoline and cause you to lose mileage. So, if you think you're not getting the mileage you should, try a tank full of Arco Supreme. You'll find Arco Supreme gasoline at any Arco station. You may not get that much more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough.
Mike Kekich will try to get something started in his own behalf here in the bottom half of inning number 3 with the score tied 1-1.
All right, Frank, and Kekich is hitting 172, 5 for 29, no extra base hits, 1 run batted in. Tom Murphy on the mound. Pitch to Kekich is a curve swing and a miss, strike 1. How do you like that, throwing the pitcher a curve on the first pitch? Murphy's next pitch, another curve. Did he hold up? No, he didn't. It's strike 2. He tried to check the swing. Could not hold up in time. Nothing in 2. All right, Murphy looks in for the sign. Swing and a miss. Again, he couldn't check the swing. Took a half swing at it, and he's out of there. And Tom Murphy picks up his first strikeout of the ball game. Brings up Jerry Kenney, who hit back to the box. On deck, Jake Gibbs. Pitch to Kenney is a curve over, strike 1 call. That ball really breaks. Yankees won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. Another curve bounce to second. Alomar gets a nice big hop. Fires to first, 2 up. And now Jake Gibbs. Jake was robbed of a base hit on a fine play by Alomar in the first inning. Two men are out. All tied 1-1. Pitch to Gibbs is over, strike 1 call. One strike delivery, low and inside, 1-1. We'll give you a rundown of all the scores at the end of this half inning. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Bobby Mercer. Murphy winds. Curve, check, swing, grounder. Nice play by Murphy over the shoulder. Throws to first. Gibbs is out of there. Jake was trying to check his swing. So the Yankees get down in order in the bottom of the third. And at the end of 3 full innings, California won and the Yankees won. On the scoreboard, Oakland beat the Red Sox 9-2, swept a 4-game series from them. Diego Segui the winner and Ken Brett the loser. Tatum and Scott homered for the Red Sox. Tatum is a pitcher, his first of the year, for Scott is 19th. Kansas City shut out Washington in the first game 2-0. Wright the winner and Schellenbach the loser. Second game, no score at the end of 2.5. Nelson against Broberg. The Tigers beat Milwaukee 4-3. Mickey Lolich winning his 19th of the year. He's lost 8. Patton the loser. Cleveland beat the White Sox 6-2. Fourth to the winner. Wood the loser. Babakwa homer. Baltimore at Minnesota later on. The Mets at San Diego later tonight. Pirates 2, Cardinals nothing ended 2. Carlton against Walker. Philadelphia at L.A. later on. Atlanta 5, Houston 1 at the end of an inning and a half. Blasting game against Reed. And those are the only games scheduled. Here the score is 1-1 as we get ready for the top of the 4th inning. And just arriving from TV, all ready, all dressed in blue, ready for Sunday. And by the blue is Bill White.
All right, Phil Rizzuto. See, Kenny Berry will lead off now for the Angels in the 4th. Score's tied, 1-1. And I tell you, the Yankees are quite fortunate to come out of that last inning after 3 years.
Yes.
Just allow the Angels 1 run. Berry's 1 for 1. He singled to right field. Kenny, a right-handed hitter. Looped the ball in the right field first time up. Kekich is ready. A breaking ball gets the outside corner. Mike's ready again, and the big windup. Over the head, the 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball, bounced to third. Kenny with the big hop. Long throw to first. It's high, but Alou has it for the first out. With 1 out, the catcher, John Stevenson, steps in. Stevenson fly to right field his first time. John is batting left-handed. See. Lefty Phillips has Mickey Rivers, a left-handed hitter. Spencer, a left-handed hitter. And John Stevenson there against left-handed throwing Mike Kekich. Alomar, switch hitter. First pitch is a breaking ball, bounced to first base. Alou fumbles it, but he'll have time. He tosses to Kekich, covering first, and there are 2 outs. That's a good part of playing first base. All you got to do is get in front of it and knock it down. It's the pitcher's job to get over there.
That's right. And if you got big shins, I remember Kozuski every once in a while would stick his shin out there to knock a ball down. That would hurt me, but he was so big. Johnny Mize, too. Stick his foot out, knock it down, reach down, pick it up, and throw to the pitcher.
Here's Tom Murphy, the pitcher. Murphy got an infield hit his first time. And he scored the only run for California. Murphy bats right-handed, takes down low. Kenny fielded the ground ball and threw into the seats. 2 balls and no strikes inside. Murphy backs on now, looks down at Rocky Bridges, coaching at third. This guy looks like he can hit. Pitch to him, swung on, popped up, in foul territory behind the plate. Gibbs throws the mask away, and he's under it and grabs it for the 3rd out. So an easy inning for Mike Kekich. He gets the Angels out, 3 up, 3 down. And for California in the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on after 3.5. New York Yankees 1, the California Angels 1.
Blacksmith was one of the men who built America. He shod many a horse, forged many a plow, and built many a mighty thirst. A more than one beer thirst. The kind of thirst that took more than one cold beer to satisfy. And that's where Schaefer came in. We built a beer for the men who built America. We started practicing on more than one beer thirsts back before most brewers even started brewing. And practice makes perfect. Today, Schaefer has the unmatched quality of flavor that never fades. Schaefer is made for the more than one beer man. Always has been, always will be.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Bobby Mercer will lead off the last half of the fourth inning for the Yankees with the score tied 1-1. Mercer lined to second base, his only time up. Tom Murphy, all right-hander, on the mound for California. Murphy 6-13. Mercer leads this ball club with 71 runs batted in, also with 21 homers. Takes the bunt on the first pitch and takes it outside a ball. That brought McMullen, the third baseman, moving in quickly. Also Jim Spencer, the first baseman. Outfield plays Mercer deep and around toward right. There is a gap in left center field as Billy Collins plays straight away and in shallow in left field. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball down low. Yankees picked up their run in the second. The Angels tied it up with a run in the third. Where it is now, 1-1. Mercer, line drive, base hit, center field. Bobby now 1 for 2. And he stops at first base, and that'll bring in Roy White. It's only the Yankees' second base hit of the ball game against Murphy. Clark's single back in the second drove in Alou, who had stolen second base for the only other hit the Yankees had. Here's White. He tried to bunt first time, but he didn't get the ball out far enough, and Stevenson, the catcher, threw him out at first. Down low ball. The Yankees have now won 59 games, have lost 58 as Peterson shut out California 3-0 in the first ball game. Murphy looking in at Stevenson. Now he comes to the belt. Mercer leads from first. The pitch. Popped up over near the Angel dugout. Stevenson after it. He is near it, can't get to it. It's on top of the dugout. Both Stevenson and Ken McMullen, the third baseman, were there. Ball fell just out of reach. So it's a ball and a strike on White. Let's see, the St. Louis Cardinals are leading the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2 at the end of 2.5 innings. So the Cardinals came up with 3 runs in their half of the third. Pittsburgh is running into a little trouble over there. 1-1 pitch down to White. Popped up towards center field. Barry stands, and now he comes in a couple of steps, waits on the ball, and he has it for the first out. Roy White now 0 for 2. That's the first out here in the fourth. Bring in Bloomberg. Bloomberg bounced to the second baseman, Alomar, who tossed to the pitcher, Murphy, covering. His first time up, that was back in the second inning. Ronnie bats left-handed, stands close to the plate, has a closed stance. Now he backs off a bit. Mercer leads from first. First pitch is fouled off. Sinking fastball. Looks like Bloomberg was trying to carry it to left field. Score is tied 1-1. Last of the fourth. Mercer takes the lead from first. This guy's got a quick move over there. He doesn't step toward first quick. He just throws across his body. Now Bloomberg backs up. No balls to strike, 1 out. Mercer's checked it first. Pitch to Bloomberg. Inside. A ball and a strike. Felipe Alou in the on-deck circle. All these Angels pitchers seem to take a lot more time when a runner gets on. There's a throw to first. Mercer is back. Murphy deals to the plate. That's called no pitch. Time was called as Bloomberg backed out. Nestor Shylock now talking to the John Stevenson.
You know what I think happened as Ronnie was swinging his bat back? He tipped the catcher's glove. Now, if he had been doing that while he was swinging, he would have been awarded first base.
Right. So it's 1-1 still. That was no pitch. A ball and a strike on Bloomberg. 1 out. Mercer at first base. Scores tied 1-1. We're in the last of the fourth. Murphy now to the belt. 1-1 pitch to Bloomberg. Swung on, driven towards center field. Just didn't get it. Got up under it too much. Guy deep out there. Barry waits on it and grabs it. Mercer starts to second, but he'll hold up. There are 2 outs. And Alou steps in. Alou walked back in the second inning. His only time up, stole second, and scored on Clark's single up the middle. The Yankees only run. So Felipe hasn't been up officially yet, although he has scored a run. First pitch to him is down low, a breaking ball. Outfield straightens up for Alou. He sprays the ball all over. He's at right field. The Rivers is way out there at right field. He's near the track. Now he comes in a little bit. He's playing Alou like he should be playing Mercer. Rivers is also moving toward the line a bit. There's a gap now a little bit in right center. Murphy checks Mercer at first. Looks at him again. 1-0 pitch to Alou. Popped up, and that'll be in the seats, foul behind home plate. Ball and a strike. Spencer, the first baseman, holds Mercer there. Bobby has stolen 11 bases for the Yankees so far this year. White has stolen 11. In fact, Roy's next stolen base will be his 100th of his career. 1-1 pitch to Lou. There goes Mercer. Inside, throwing to second. He's called out. Stevenson got the ball down on one bounce to the second baseman, Alomar. A perfect bounce. Alomar grabbed it and put it on a sliding Mercer. So Mercer's thrown out from 2 to 4 for the third out for the Yankees. In the fourth, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 4 innings of play, the New York Yankees won, the California Angels won.
Did you know that you can cut moving costs by 50% or more with a U-Haul rental truck or trailer? Over 6 million families every year move with U-Haul because there's a size and a type that's just right for a one-room apartment or for the biggest house in town. And if you're moving out of town, you can rent it here and leave it with a dealer where you're going. U-Haul has low rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a free moving guide that's loaded with helpful hints for self-movers. So stop in for your free copy and make your moving job a lot easier. Beat the high cost of moving. Do it yourself with U-Haul. Mendetta's Arco, 109 South Main Street, Gloversville. Olson's Rotary Service, 24 Lower Warren Street, Glens Falls. Bellevue Motors Incorporated, 1902 Broadway, Schenectady. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
Well, a lot of times that's a better way to throw a ball, like from deep shortstop or catches. That one bounce skips off the grass of the AstroTurf. It gets there quicker, I think.
Mm-hmm. That was right there. One bounce right into Alomar's hands. He put it right right on Mercer. And Alomar will lead off the first of the fifth for the Angels. Takes the ball. Alomar's over two. He struck out first time. Got on an error by the shortstop Baker in the third. Left-handed at third there, though. Kekich, 1-0 pitch, almost hits him inside. 2 balls and no strikes. He's shorting up for Alomar. Alomar, a switch hitter. Kenny, the third baseman, is in even with the bag at third. Alou is maybe a couple of steps behind the base paths there at first. Outfield's in shallow also. That fastball is fouled off. That'll be over the Yankee dugout and in the upper deck on that side, on the right side. Alomar's a pesky little hitter. He has 132 hits. He scored 56 runs for the Angels. Driven in 36. Hitting just over 260. Pitch to him. Sky towards center field. That should be easy for Mercer. Probably loses his hat, but he waits for it and grabs it for the first out. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady, New York.
Here's Mickey Rivers with 1 out. Rivers batting left-handed. 103 left-handed hitters against Kekich. He's 1 for 2. Got a bunt single in the third inning. Swings on a high fastball and misses it. Now look at this Yankee infield shorting up. Kenny's way in on the little cut curve there at third base, and so's Alou. They're going to take a bunt away from this fella. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Rivers got into the first ball game and got a bunt single as a pinch hitter. And he got a bunt base hit in this ball game. The Yankees taking the bunt away from him. The 0-2 pitch to him. Fastball popped up in foul territory near the Yankee dugout. That ball's going to be out of play. Gibbs is after it, but it's at least 10 rows back. Still no balls and 2 strikes on Rivers. You know, Phil, if this guy can run from home plate to first in 3.1 seconds, Mantle was timed at 3.2. That means he can get there faster than Mickey.
Yeah.
And Mickey could really fly when he was jumping.
He does get that little quicker jump at the plate. Took Mickey a little while to get started, but once he did, he could fly.
Sidearm curveball misses. 1-2. Scores tied 1-1. We're at the top of the fifth. 1 out, nobody on. Line drive, right field, foul, right outside the line. That missed by about a foot. That was a breaking ball. Rivers hung with it and lined it past Alou, but it was on the right side of the right field line. And the first base umpire, Don Dinkinger, waved it foul. California has 1 run on 3 hits. The Yankees have 1 run on 2. Kekich is ready with the 1-2 pitch. Fastball popped up in foul territory. Kenny, the third baseman, falls for it. Waits on it and has it. 2 outs now as Rivers fouls out to Kenny. And here's Ken McMullen. McMullen 0 for 1. He bounced the third first time up. And his sacrifice fly to right field drove in the pitcher, Tom Murphy, back in the third inning for the Angels' only run of this ball game. McMullen now has 51 runs batted in for the Angels. He leads them in that category. Spencer, the first baseman, has 43. McMullen, a big right-handed hitter, chokes up on the bat just a little, and they play him straight away. Kekich is ready over the head. Curveball misses outside. Billy Cowan on deck. Pitch. Breaking ball held up. 2 balls and no strikes. McMullen had ideas but got the bat back. The Yankees won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. Fritz won his 12th game of the year. He's lost 7. 2-0 pitch now. Ball strike. Fastball. 2 balls and a strike to McMullen. Fritz had to do a lot of pitching in that last inning to keep the shutout going, but he got out of the inning. High ball 3. 3-1. The Angels put the first 2 men on, but Peterson got the next 3 out to preserve his victory, his shutout, and his victory number 12. 3-1 pitch now. Hit on low, ball 4. Kekich loses him, and McMullen jogs on down the first base. That's the third walk given up by Kekich. He's walked 1 man intentionally. That was Fregosi. Cowan's ahead, and Fregosi's on the on-deck circle. Billy's 0 for 2. Bounced to second and popped to short. Cowan having a good year for the Angels. Over 300. He came into the ballgame batting .320. He hasn't been up that much, only 127 times. He has 40 hits. First pitch to it. Curveball is swung on and missed. Cowan, a good high fastball hitter. In fact, he can ride that high fastball a long way. McMullen not a threat to steal, but Alou holds him at first with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch down to Cowan. Fastball almost hits him inside. He makes him skip rope a bit. 1-1. Kekich looks quick. Looks like he has a good fastball. Struck out the first 2 men he faced and hasn't gotten another one. Looks like he has a good fastball tonight. Now he comes to the belt. Checks McMullen at first. Pitch is down low in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Oakland this afternoon beat Boston 9-2. Kansas City beat Washington 2-0. The first game was a doubleheader. Washington leads the second game 2-0 at the end of 3 over Kansas City. 2-1 pitch down to Collins. Swung on and fouled off. A breaking ball. Counts even 2-2. So Washington, looking for a split with Kansas City, leads the second game 2-0 at the end of 3. The Detroit Tigers, with Mickey Lolich winning number 19, beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3. Cleveland beat Chicago 6-2. And Baltimore is up in Minnesota. That game should just about be getting underway. Now Kekich checks McMullen at first. 2-2 pitch to Cowan. Curveball swung on and missed. Struck him out. So Kekich picks up strikeout number 3. And that's it for California in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 walk, and a man left on. At the end of 4.5, the Yankees won and the Angels won.
Here's good news for folks who use rental trucks or trailers to move their household furnishings or for miscellaneous hauling jobs. U-Haul dealers now honor Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge cards for local and one-way rentals. No cash deposit is required. And you can include furniture pads, tow bars, and other moving aids, too. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. And if you're planning a move soon, stop in at U-Haul for a free copy of the U-Haul Moving Guide. It shows how to plan your move, how to pack, and how you can save money. Remember, with U-Haul, you can move now and pay later. Just use your Bank AmeriCard or Master Charge card at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Spenard's U-Haul and Auto Service, 2212 Central Avenue, Schenectady. Bill's Golf Service, 9 Mohawk Avenue, Scotia. Sowers Service Station, 29 Main Street, Ballston Lake. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
Well, Lou gets another shot at Murphy, and the Yankees have the 5th. Lou was up when Mercer was cut down trying to steal a second in the 4th. Felipe still hasn't had an official timeout. Takes the ball low and away. Lou walked, stole a base, and scored on Clark's single back in the second inning. Scores tied 1-1. Murphy's ready. The right-hander deals. Down low, ball 2. Lou started to swing, but held up. Now he looks down at Hauser. Dick says, let's go, swing the bat. Felipe wearing glasses. Stands deep in the box, slightly closed stance. Bat held almost straight up and down over the right shoulder. He almost hits him inside. 3-0. Murphy walked to Lou the first time. Tom's also struck out a batter. See, here's the 3-0 pitch. Will he hit out? No, he's going to take it. It's called strike. Horace Clark on deck. Murphy looks in at Stevenson. Over his head. 3-1 pitch. Popped up towards shallow center field. Barry's hurrying in. Can he get to it? He's still running in. Dives, gets one hand, the ball falls out. Alou going into second base. He is out there. Felipe hustling around first base. Went on into second. I believe Alomar, the little second baseman, picked the ball up after it got out of Barry's glove and threw the second, the Fregosi covering, to get Alou. So give Alou a single to center. He's out from 4 to 6 as he tried to stretch it into a double. Alou hustling all the way, just was nipped at second base. I tell you, if Alomar hadn't been out there, Alou would have been at second, because Barry was on the ground.
Yep.
All right, here's Clark, off 1 for 1 with an RBI. In fact, I think Alomar Fregosi could have cut that ball.
Oh, yes, they gave up too quickly on it.
Now the 0-1 pitch to Clark. Swung on, fouled off. Held by the catcher, Stevenson. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, Baltimore at least leads 1-0 over Minnesota. Ron Buford got his 16th home run in the first inning up there. Almost hits him inside. Just missed the house. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clark batting left-handed against Murphy, all right-handed. Scores tied 1-1. We're in the last of the 5th with 1 out. 1-2 pitch is looped out in the left field. That might be trouble. Cowan cannot get to it. Falls in front of him. So Clark 2 for 2. Also on at first base with his second base hit of the ball game, and the Yankees 4th. That'll bring in Frank Baker, the shortstop. Baker flies to left first time up. He's playing for Gene Michael. Michael being given a rest the second game. Gene plays the first game. The Yankees won 3-0 behind Peterson. Throw the first. Clark is back. Tell you, this Murphy really throws over there when Clark gets it first. House must have stolen quite a few bases off of him. Now he stretches. Swung on. Miss. No balls and a strike. Clark has 13 stolen bases on the year. Murphy looking in at Stevenson. Now he comes to the big stretch. The 0-1 pitch inside, a ball, 1-1. Jim Spencer's holding Clark at first. The Angel outfield not too deep. Have Billy Cowan in left, Kenny Berry in center, Mickey Rivers in right. Now Murphy comes to the belt. Quick throw to first. Clark dives back, and Spencer had to go over toward Clark to get the ball and jumped over him. That ball gets loose on that right field line. Hoss will end up at third. Now the stretch again. Clark leads. 1-1 pitch, bounce over the mound. Fregosi has it. Tag second. Throw to first. Double play. So Baker bounces into a quick double play, and the Angels come out of the inning with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. No runs on 2 hits. I'm sorry, there were no errors and nobody left on. So at the end of 5, the New York Yankees won, the California Angels won.
Arco Supreme, great gasoline. You may only get a little more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough. Arco
I say? The score was 5-5? The score, well, it's tied, but it's 1-1. You know, a lot of times I'll say something and somebody will say, you know what you said, and I'll say, I don't believe it.
Well, you're trying to help me on those hits. And got off whack here. Jim Fregosi will lead off now in the 6th for the Angels. And he pops the first pitch up in foul territory. Gibbs over toward the first baseline. Waits on it and grabs it. So Fregosi cuts on the first pitch and he fouls out to the catcher, Jake Gibbs. That'll bring in Jim Spencer. Spencer's 0 for 1. He's walked and lined to right field. Hey, this guy really scares you the way he swings the bat. It doesn't make any difference if a left-hander or right-hander throw.
Oh, he hit some shots in the first game and one in this game.
And he's only batting .235. A left-hander against Kekich, a left-handed thrower. They play him to pull. First pitch is down low. Gibbs blocks it. Goes up in the air. Spencer, what game did he play here, Kane? The Hearst Sandlot game. When he was still in high school, huh? He likes this stadium. High, ball 2. I understand he had a home run that game. Just a kid. Jim Spencer. Kekich behind now. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike deals a 2-0 pitch. Fastball popped up, straight back. Foul, out of play. Atlanta leads Houston 6-1 at the end of 2. The Mets are on the coast. They're playing the San Diego Padres. See where your old buddy Yogi Berra mentioned as a possible manager out there at San Diego.
Yes, I saw that. I know Yogi wants to manage, but that's a little far away.
Breaking ball misses inside. 3-1 on Spencer. One out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 6th. Score's tied, 1-1. Kekich is ready. Fastball popped up toward first base in foul territory. A lose. Right near the wall. Backs up and grabs it for the second out. So 2 outs. Both on foul pops. Fregosi fouled out to the catcher. Spencer out to the first baseman. And that'll bring in Kenny Berry, the center fielder. Berry, a right-handed hitter. He's 1 for 2. Single to right and bounce to third. Kekich is ready now. First pitch to Berry. Toward center field. Deep to center field. Mercer cruises to his left. Waits on and grabs it with one hand. Well, that's it. Kekich gets the Angels out. 3 up and 3 down. So at the end of 5 1/2, the score is still the same. The Yankees won. The California Angels won.
Good shot.
Run around a tennis court on a hot summer day and you really run up a thirst.
Just too good,
When that last set is over, you'll be set for a couple of beers. So today, there's only one beer that'll do.
Kekich will lead off with the Yankees the last of the 6th. This is the second time Kekich has led an inning off. He led the 3rd off and struck out. Mike batting right-handed against Murphy. Murphy's down low with a ball. They give Kekich a lot of center field, straight away center. Mickey Rivers is playing him near the line and in shallow in right field. Barry's in right center and in shallow. Down low, ball 2. The left fielder Collins straight away, and he's in behind the shortstop, Fregosi almost. There's quite a bit of room in dead center field for Kekich. There's a 2-0 pitch to him now. Ball 3 high. 3-0. And Mike will take this, and he doesn't even bother to look at Hauser. He knows the sign he'll get. It'll be red. Stop. Do not swing. Better not swing. It costs you $50. Then he takes a strike. He does not look at Hauser again. Now he takes a peek at him. Mike will probably take this pitch too. Murphy's ready. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And it's taken. Ball falls, strike 2. Full count now on Kekich. Mike wants to get on any way he can. So he took Murphy all the way. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped out into shallow right center, grabbed by the second baseman, Alomar. That was a little humpback liner that Alomar hustled out in shallow right center field and grabbed. So there's 1 out. Mike went as far as he could with Murphy before flying to the second baseman. Here's Jerry Kenny. Kenny's 0 for 2. He's bounced back to the pitch and he's bounced to second. Score side, 1-1. We're in the last of the 6th. The Yankees won the first game 3-0. First pitch now to Kenny. Breaking ball misses inside. Now time is called. Jake Gibbs on deck. 1-0 pitch. Fastball gets the outside corner. 1-1. Outfield straightens up. They play straight away for Kenny, not too deep. Collins still enclosed in left field. Rivers not too deep in right field. Kenny backs out again and calls time. Murphy looking in at Stevenson. The right-hander deals the 1-1 pitch. Line drive left field. Can Collins get to it? Yes, he's right there, grabs it. One time, Billy Collins playing perfectly in left field, made about 5 quick steps in, grabbed Kenny's line drive, and they're 2 outs. We're playing Jerry close all over. Jerry hits the ball well, but right at Collins. That'll bring in Gibbs. Gibbs is also 0 for 2. He's bounced to second, bounced back to the pitcher. The Yankees only have 4 hits. Mercer has a single. Lou has a single, and Clark has 2 singles. Gibbs cuts on the first pitch, a breaking ball, swings through it. No balls and a strike. 2 outs and nobody on. Score tied 1-1. Yankees are batting in the 6th. Bobby Mercer on deck. Breaking balls bounce toward the first baseman Spencer. He'll have it easily. Touches the bag, and that's it for the Yankees. Gibbs bounces out Spencer unassisted. For the Yankees in the 6th. 3 men up and 3 men down. So at the end of 6, full innings of play. The Yankees have 1 run on 4 hits. They've made 3 errors. California Angels have 1 run on 3 hits. They've played errorless baseball. Looking at the scoreboard, Oakland beat Boston 9-2 this afternoon. Diego Segui was the winner. The loser, Kenny Brett. Home runs, Tatum for Boston, and Scott got his 19th in the 7th. So Oakland 9, Boston 2. In the first game of doubleheader, Kansas City shot Washington 2-0. Wright the winner, Schellenbach the loser. In the second game, Washington leads 2-0 at the end of 4.5. This afternoon, Detroit moved into second place in the American League East by edging the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3. Mickey Lois won his 19th game. He's lost 8. Marty Patton was loser. This afternoon, Chicago lost to the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland 6, Chicago 2. Foster the winner, Wood the loser. Baltimore leads Minnesota 3-0 at the end of half an inning. Buford got a 16th home run, and Merv Redeman his 10th. All the games in the National League are at night. New York to San Diego. St. Louis 3, Pittsburgh 2 at the end of 5. Philadelphia's out of L.A. Atlanta 7, Houston 1 at the end of 3.5. Billy Williams got his, no, that's not Billy, that's Earl Williams. Got his 20th home run for Atlanta, and the 4th was 1 on. Those are the only games scheduled. Scheduled in now with us, coming over from TV, is Frank Metzer.
Okay, Bill White, thank you very much, and good evening once again. Here's the catcher, John Stevenson, to lead off the seventh inning for the California Angels. He's a left-hand batter, really spreads out in the batter's box. Swings on the first pitch, pops it up, down the first baseline, foul territory. A loose calls for it and makes the catch. Jake Gibbs was barreling after it, and a loose called him off the ball. So there's one away on one pitch. And here's Tom Murphy, the pitcher. Murphy had an infield hit. Went to second on Kenny's throwing error and went to third. Scored on McMullen's sacrifice fly in the third inning. Then he fouled out to Jake. He's 1 for 2. Pitch to him. Change out for a strike. Yankees has got a good change of pace tonight. Left field, not too deep, coming hard is White. He's there now, and Roy makes the catch. And there are 2 down. About an hour will be Sandy Alomar. Alomar struck out, reached on an error by Frank Baker and flied to center. He is 0 for 3. Right-hand hitter against left-hand pitching. Alomar is a switch hitter. Swings on the first pitch, fly ball to center. Mercer backs off. He's under it. Glove up, makes the one-hand catch over his head, and the side is retired. And that is the easiest inning so far for Kekich, who has now retired 7 men in a row. Nothing across for the California Angels at the end of 6 1/2. The score: Yankees 1 and California 1.
Game is the last time the Angels will be in Yankee Stadium this year. But the Oakland A's come in right after these people. The Oakland will be in tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon, and then Bright of Blue on Sunday. All fans with the last name of BLUE who can prove it will go to the Blue Booth, and they'll get in grandstand reserve seats. All right, Frank Messer.
Bobby Mercer will lead off the bottom half of the seventh. To the accolades of the crowd, the pitch guard swung on a missed strike one. Mercer keeps shaking his right hand. Looks like he's got his tape now, Bill. Glance it down there and see. Or heavy. He does have a piece of tape on it. That hand has bothered him a lot in the doubleheader. Let's check with him and see just what it is. Has come to life here in the bottom half of the seventh. Winds up and here's the pitch to Mercer outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Drive right, gambling right-hander, hangs real loose out on the mound. Like a soft breeze came along and blow him over. He really looks relaxed. That's the wind up, the kick of the pitch. Shut on and popped under the shallow left center. Billy Cowan coming in for it. He's under it. The left fielder there makes the catch. So Mercer is retired. The batter will be Roy White. Was thrown out by Stevenson, bunting for a base hit leading off the second. Then he flied out to center field in the fourth, so Roy is over 2. Steps in as a left-hand hitter against the right-hander, Tom Murphy. Murphy, his left leg bad. He's on his toe of his left foot. Seems like it's just resting on the ground. There's a pitch that is cut on and hit right back to the pitcher. The barrel end of the bat went all the way down to first base as it broke completely in half and White is thrown out. Murphy to Spencer at first. Spencer had the ball coming from the mound, the bat coming at him from the plate. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
This is WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady, New York.
The batter now, and the first pitch to him is swung on and foul back off the chest protector of Mr. Shylock. Strike one. Score tied 1-1. The Yankees won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. Peterson scattered 9 hits to pick up his second shutout of the year. It was his 12th victory. Best record on the club. Wind up and the 0-1. Way outside. Peterson is now 112 and lost 7, and he has won his last 6 decisions. Tom Murphy keeps the ball in the glove now, takes it out, hides it behind the right leg. Starts to wind up. And the pitch. Outside. The hitter gets just a glimpse of the baseball as Murphy brings his right hand around in the windup. He looks at the baseball, rubs on it. Throws the slant. Left foot just rests behind the pitching rubber. And his 2-1 delivery. Line out to center field, but Barry is right there, and he makes the catch. That ball was shuffling a little bit going out toward Barry. The side is retired in order, and now 7 Yankees in a row have gone down since Clark's base hit in the 5th. Nothing across, end of 7. It's the Yankees won, the Angels won.
If you're going to move, why not do it yourself with U-Haul, as more than 6 million families do every year? Save as much as 50% or more of the usual cost and move at your convenience, not someone else's. U-Haul trucks and trailers are available in a full range of sizes. There's one that's just right for your move. You can rent equipment from your nearest U-Haul dealer and leave it with a dealer in your new neighborhood, even if you're going clear across the country. U-Haul has low one-way rental rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. And cargo insurance is included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a moving guide that helps plan your move and makes the job a lot easier. Stop in at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Ruth's American, 1560 Central Avenue, Colony, A to Z Rental Center, 100 Everett Road, Albany, John Irish & Son, Columbia Turnpike, East Greenbush. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
That's American night, Tuesday, September the 7th. It'll be at 8 p.m. The Red Sox will be in. And, of course, Felipe Alou with the Yankees are from Santo Domingo. Manny Minoso said he's going to come in. Then he's playing down in Mexico.
He is still playing, isn't he?
Yep. He's 350 down there, managing and playing first base. Maybe Recheduled right about first base.
Hi, Mickey Rivers right here. Fouls the first pitch back, strike one. That's going to be Tuesday, September 7th. The Yankees going to be playing the Red Sox. Be some special things for some special people. They're going to have a lot of Spanish food here at the concession stands, understand.
I want to get Buck Cannell to do anything in Spanish.
0-1 pitch. Strike 2 call.
And I'm going to go over there and do anything in Spanish for him. I'll go over there and do anything in Spanish. We'll bring him over here and do anything in Spanish. Can you imagine that?
I'll go over there and do an inning in English for him. Strike 3 is called. Rivers looks at the last pitch and is called out on strike. Strikeout number 4 for Mike Chekic. And the batter will be Ken McMullen. He was the last Angel to reach base. He walked in the 5th inning. Since then, Kekich has retired 8 in a row. McMullen, right-hand batter. Fastball is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Score tied, 1-1. Yankees won the opener 3-0. Next pitch. Up high. 1-1. Angels have not done too well this year against left-handers. They've won 14 but lost 23. 1-1 pitch. Fastball inside, backs him out. Yankees against left-hand pitching have won 21 and lost 27, including the first game of the Twin Bill in which they beat Rudy May. Kekich's 2-1 pitch. High to McMullen. Ball 3, 3-1. McMullen now steps back, looks down at third base coach Rocky Bridges. I would presume McMullen would be on his own with a 3-1 count. Billy Cowan is on deck. Kekich winds. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and lays down the right field line. Fading foul into the seat. The count is full, 3-2. Kekich takes the side with both feet on the rubber. Rocks back on the right foot. The kick to pitch. Swung on, in on the ground at third. Kenny is up with it deep. The throw to first base in time. McMullen is out at first base. That was a scorcher. Jerry Kenny took a step to his right, got in front of the ball, came up with it, and fired on to first. Billy Cowan now. Cowan is grounded out to second, popped to short, and struck out. Cowan went 2 for 3 against Peterson in the opener. Kekich kicks and deals. High for a ball. Price is now retired 9 men in a row. And the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Horace Clark calling for it. And on the skin of the infield, he makes the catch to retire the side. It's 10 in a row for Kekich. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Cal Angels. At the end of 7 1/2, the score. New York won and California won.
What would you think of a restaurant that guaranteed good service or your money back? You'd be ahead of the game either way, right? Well, that's pretty much what happens with Arco Red Ball Dealer Service. If your Red Ball service dealer doesn't clean your windshield or offer to check your oil, weather permitting, he'll refund the price of your gasoline. Red Ball service is your Arco dealer's way of assuring you of good service. So that if you're on a trip, you know you're going to get the same good service you get in your neighborhood. So you get the same service from a dealer who doesn't know you as you do from a guy who's known you for years. The details may vary from state to state, but the quality of Red Ball service never varies. If it does, you get your gasoline for free. Arco Red Ball Dealer Service. You're ahead of the game whether you get it or not.
Oakland beat Boston 9-2. That's the only one we'll give because we're ready to go, Frank.
Yes, we are. John Murphy anxious to get going again. He's retired 7 men in a row, ready to pitch to Felipe Alou, who singled in the 5th. Pitch to him. Swung out in on the ground is short. Played on 2 hops by Fregosi. Over to first in the dirt by taken by Spencer. And Alou, first ball hitting, grounds out short to first. Sorry to say, Alou in the 5th single to center field as Ken Berry, one of the few times, did not get a good jump on the ball. It hit off his glove as he dove for it, but Berry, as he went down, hollering to Alomar, throw to second. Alomar did, and they had Alou trying to stretch it. Horace Clark He singled in the fifth, and Clark is the last Yankee to reach base. The windup and the pitch to him. Curve ball is over for a strike. Clark is 2 for 2. Single to center and single to left. Frank Baker is out on deck. Now the 0-1 pitch. Clark gets it right back through the box, but to his right, Alomar flags it down. Quick throw to first. Clark is out. Two away, and Frank Baker will step in. He is slide to left and grounded into a double play. Over the last 6 innings, John Murphy has faced the minimum 3 men per inning. Pitch. Right back to him. Murphy throws to first base. Baker is out, and the side is retired, and an easy inning for John Murphy. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Yankees, and at the end of 8, the score is New York 1 and California 1. Say, if you've been switching around lately looking for a better brand of beer, here's a way to make your next switch your last. Switch to Schaefer and discover flavor that doesn't fade beer after beer. You'll find that Schaefer stays bright and rewarding, first frosty cold glass to last. And you just may decide that the one beer for you is Schaefer, the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Fregosi waiting to lead off the 9th inning here. Fregosi has slid to left field on a nice catch by Roy White. Walked and fouled out the kid. Fregosi a right-hand batter. Base laying just up the middle. The deep man in the outfield is White in left. And the pitch to him. Low and inside, ball 1. Jerry Kenney guarding the line at third. He's just a step off the foul line. Deep. Infield is deep. Outfield, as we said straight away, with Roy White very deep in left. Next pitch coming. Fastball is over for a strike. It's 1-1 on Fregosi. It's rock, kicks, and deals. Fregosi takes 5. Ball 2, 2-1. Only 2 games yet to start. That's Philadelphia at Los Angeles and New York at San Diego in the National League. Two-one pitch. High and tight. Balls and a strike to Fregosi. 3-1 pitch coming. One arm out to third. Kenney has it on 2 hops. Fires to first base in time. Fregosi is out. That's 11 in a row for Kenney. Last man to reach was McMullen, who walked in the 5th inning. Ball game has been in the hands of the pitchers. Ekich even survived 1 inning, in which the Angels had 2 base hits, a walk, and the Yankees committed 3 errors, but they only scored 1 run. Jim Spencer now has walked line to right and fouled out to a Lewis first. Left-hand batter holds the bat high. Bends at the waist. Takes the pitch chin high, ball one. Ready again. Kicks and delivers. Swung on and loops to the right side. Clark after backhand catch. Fine catch by Horace Clark. Going to his right and back towards center field. Reached out and backhanded it.
Hey, I thought that was a base hit as soon as it left the bat. Looks like we'll loop in there. But Clark off and running with as the ball hit the bat, got to it.
Good catch by the Hawks. 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning, and Ken Berry steps in. He's a right-hand hitter. Looks like Gibbs is complaining a little bit about where Berry is planting his right foot. Now Gibbs is going to give a little ground as Mr. Shylock backs Berry. Says he's all right. First pitch time. Blowing outside, ball one. Berry backs out. Now in again. Beckett winds, and here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. 2 outs. The base is empty. Kekic whips it to the plate. Change up is line over Baker, base dead. Out into left center field. Bobby Mercer gets to the ball in front of Roy White. Fires it into second base. And a single for Berry is the first hit since the 3rd inning for the California Angels. Kekic had retired 12 men in a row, starting with Cowan, who struck out to end the 5th. Got the side in order in the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, and the first 2 hitters here in the 9th. Now, Ken Berry, who came in batting .204, has his 2nd hit in the ball game. The batter will be John Stevenson, the catcher, 0 for 3. He is lined out. Takes the ball, ball one. Lined out, grounded out, and popped up. Fastball is low, dug out of the dirt by Gibbs. Nice save. 2 balls and no strikes.
Hey, with the pitcher up here, Frankie got to really be alive for the hit and run. Stevenson has Kekic in the hole, 2 balls and no strikes. Berry only has 1 stolen base. I thought he was a lot quicker than that.
2-0 pitch. Swung on and drilled deep and foul down the right side. Into the seats for the foul ball all the way. Except for Alomar, nobody runs much in this ball club. Alomar's got 32 stolen bases. Rivers has 5, and nobody else in the starting lineup has more than 1. Here's the pitch. Low, a fastball at 3-1. The pitcher, Tom Murphy, is on deck. And the Yankee bullpen will go to work. Kekic is due to lead off the bottom half of the 9th inning.
There's also some action in left center field out in the Angel bullpen.
3-1 pitch coming here. Swung on and missed strike 2. So with 2 out, the base runner at first will be released. Ken Berry will break with the pitch. Stevenson gets on. Murphy may not come to bat.
He's warming somebody up out there left field.
Of course, if Stevenson doesn't get on, it's definite that Murphy will not come to bat. Pitch, runner going, it's line, caught by Lou. Lou with a catch at the line drive, and that ball was smashed. But Lou speared it, and the side is retired. No runs, a base hit, no errors, and a man left. At the end of 8 1/2, the score, New York 1 and California 1.
Did you know that you can cut moving costs by 50% or more with a U-Haul rental truck or trailer? Over 6 million families every year move with U-Haul because there's a size and a type that's just right for a one-room apartment or for the biggest house in town. And if you're moving out of town, You can rent it here and leave it with a dealer where you're going. U-Haul has low rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a free moving guide that's loaded with helpful hints for self-movers. So stop in for your free copy and make your moving job a lot easier. Beat the high cost of moving. Do it yourself with U-Haul. Willie Hooks Texaco, Route 9W, Glenmont. Ribley and Harpinger, 3702 State Street, Schenectady. And Airways Rent-A-Car, 660 Albany Shaker Road, Airport Exit at Northway, or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
All right, Bill White, the Angels have made a change out at shortstop. Sid O'Brien has replaced Jim Fregosi at shortstop. And O'Brien with that fifth. Mike Kekic is going to lead off the bottom half of the ninth inning for the Yankees. Ralph Houk giving Kekic a chance to win or lose this ball game himself after going thus far. Allowing only 4 hits to the California Angels, so Kekic will bat to lead off the ninth inning. He is struck out and popped up. The pitch to him. Curveball is bounced back over the mound to his right. Alomar back in and can't get it. The ball is out through over second base. Kekic did not realize the ball got through. Holds up at first base. And still it's a wise move. Alomar tried to backhand it and did not come up with it. It will be scored a base hit. That is the Yankees' 5th hit in the ballgame. Here is Jerry Kenny, 0 for 3. The ball is loose out in right field. That's why time has been called. It is retrieved by Rivers and returned to the Yankee bullpen from whence it came. Wonder who's warming up out there to throw that ball over the gate and all the way to the playing field. All right, the pitch to Kenny. He squares off. He bunts it foul. They had Jerry Kenny surrounded. McMullen from third, Spencer from first, the pitchers. They formed 4 sides of the box around him. Of course, the catcher, Stevenson, formed the 4th side. He was surrounded. As 3 men charged him, even the pitcher. 0-1 now to him. The wind-up by Murphy, the stretch by Murphy, the pitch. Kenny takes it low this time, pulls the bat away from the bunt, and it's 1-1. Both bullpens stay active. Kekic at first base, Spencer holding him on, then ready to charge with the pitch. Stretch by Murphy, here comes the pitch. Kenny squares, punts it down the third base line. McMullen up with it, looks to second, throws to first. Kenny is just out. And Kekic on the sacrifice goes to second base. Score to play 5-4 on the sacrifice. McMullen to Alomar covering. And Lefty Phillips will make a trip to the mound. On a play like that, McMullen and Spencer charge. McMullen fields the ball near the plate. He looks at second. So he could not get Kekic. Through to Alomar, the second baseman covering first. And then the catcher, Stevenson, races down to cover third because McMullen is occupied elsewhere. A lot of people move out of bunt.
Oh, everybody has a job to do. Really, I don't think people really realize the thought that goes into the many things that they do on a field and why they do it. But everybody has a job to do on a bunt.
But Phillips out there is going to make a pitching change. Bring a left-hander in to pitch to Gibbs, but Gibbs, of course, will not bat. Jake goes back to the dugout. Jake has already gone back in as Phillips has called for a left-hander. John Murphy comes off the mound. No chance to win it. He could be a losing pitcher or go to no decision. That's what he does. He pitched this far, give up only 5 base hits, to know that the best he can get out of it is no decision. He does get a handshake from somebody as he comes into the dugout. And that somebody was Fred Koenig, the first base coach, saying, well done. It's going to be Dave LaRoche coming on to pitch. Dave LaRoche, a left-hander, comes on to pitch, and as yet the Yankee pinch hitter has not come out of the dugout. Of course, somebody is out there. Mercer was standing out on deck. Gibbs had come out, and as soon as Phillips waited for the left-hander, Gibbs went back to the dugout.
Frank, it's going to be Munson. Thurm will bat for Gibbs. Lefty, he can do one of two things. Now, he can pitch to Munson, try to get him out. Or he can put Munson on first base and set up a force. Of course, now to set up a force, you're going to pitch to Mercer and White. So you're asking to pitch to the Yankees' 2 big men if you put Munson on in this situation. So Ralph Houck at this point is holding all the trump cards. LaRoche, a left-hander, might rather pitch to Mercer than to Munson. We're waiting now for Mike Kackett to come out. Kackett is in the dugout. LaRoche.
Yes, it is. LaRoche has done a fine job out of the bullpen. He has a record of 4-1 and 8 saves.
Now, the last time we saw this, Weaver elected to pitch to Alou, and Alou got a base hit.
And that won the ball game and scored Roy White from second base. LaRoche has pitched in 3 games against the Yankees prior to this. He has a win and a save, and their strategy is to walk Trevor Munson. Help put Munson on. LaRoche in 3 2/3 innings has allowed only 1 run, given up 4 hits to the Yankees, saved a 9-6 win for Andy Messersmith, and beat Jim Harden 4-3. Munson drops down to first base, and Bobby Mercer the batter with runners at first and second. Second. Munson at first. Yankees do not have extreme speed on the bases. Pitch to Mercer. He takes outside from the left-hander. Ball 1. Hides the ball behind his back. Now ready to work and does. Fast and low. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. LaRoche slipped just a bit on his stride. Took time to smooth the dirt out on the front slope of the mound. The left-hander looks in again to John Stevenson for a side. Kackett and Munson lead away. 1 out. 1-1 ball game, and the pitch to Mercer. Bobby takes the strike. Good one. The outfield is not extremely deep. Even in right field, Rivers has come in. Now, you know this kid has good speed, Rivers. He wants to be able to field that base hit in right field if it should be a base hit, and got to throw into the plate. So he is not too deep. Here's the pitch. Mercer swings, hits a fly ball to left. Coming in for it is Billy Cowan. He sets up under it, and Cowan makes the catch. There are 2 down. Mercer is retired on a fly ball to Cowan in fairly shallow left field. The Batter will be Roy White. White now, of course, will bat right-handed. Stevenson wants the second baseman Alomar to join the conference at the mound. Alomar comes in, and Alomar, Stevenson, and LaRoche have a little meeting. And they'll soon have a fourth member as Mr. Shylock ambles out that way. Shylock brings Stevenson back with him. Now Alomar goes back to his position at second base. Roy White, the batter. Roy is 0 for 3. And the pitch to him. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Camping up under it, Ken Berry. Waiting for it to come down. The side is retired, and we'll go to extra innings. For the Yankees in the ninth, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. So at the end of 9, and here are the totals on the ball game. The Yankees 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors. California 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. And, Bill White, you got scores of other games?
Yeah, I got them, Frank. Oakland beat Boston 9-2. The winner, Segui, 8-5. The loser, Brett, 0-2. Ken Tatum and George Great Scott got the Boston 2 runs with home runs. Tatum is first, Scott his 19th. Kansas City beat Washington 2-0 in the first game of the doubleheader. And in the second game, Washington leads Kansas City 2-1 at the end of 7. Detroit moved into second place in the American League East as they edged the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3. Mickey Lolich won his 19th ball game of the year. He's lost 8. Marty Patton, the loser. The Tigers have now won 13 of 17. Over a half game ahead of the Boston Red Sox. Now, Alomar will probably have to swing the bat. Of course, that little fellow's a tough man to double up. He can run. He's got 32 stolen bases. Kenny's still in close to third. Outfield straight away. No balls, 2 strikes on Alomar. Reynolds at first base. Now Kekich checks Reynolds at first. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up. First baseman Alou. Between first and the mound. Alou grabs it for the first out. 1 away. Reynolds still at first base. Bring in Mickey Rivers, the right fielder. Rivers is 1 for 4. He struck out twice, got a bunt single, and fouled out to the third baseman, Kenny. Rivers bats left-handed. Score's tied 1-1. We're in the top of the 10th. Pitch now to Rivers. Breaking ball, a called strike. Just got the inside corner. Alou holds Reynolds at first. Fellows got to be pulling that ball past Alou, between Alou and Clark. Now the stretch by Kekich. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Ken McMullen swinging a bat in the on-deck circle. Kekich now ahead 0-2. Looks in at Munson. Strikes the sign. Comes to the belt. Checks Reynolds at first. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, swung on, fouled off, out of the glove of Munson. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Now Mike's ready. The pitch, sidearm curveball, got him. Bad ball, way outside in the dirt. Rivers waves at it, and Kekich has picked up a big strikeout. His strikeout number 5. Thank you, Franklin. And that'll bring in Ken McMullen. 2 outs now. Reynolds still at first base. McMullen 0 for 2. He's bounced out twice to Kenny. The sacrifice fly that drove in the Angels' only run. That was back in the 3rd, and he's walked. Kekich is ready. The pitch now. Fastball bounced towards shortstop. Baker takes a big hop. Little toss to Clark at second base. They forced Reynolds there, and Kekich has gotten out of trouble. And the Angels come up with no runs. On no hit, there was one walk, one man left on base. So at the end of 9.5, the New York Yankees won. The California Angels won.
Here's a message for the cars of America. Cars, you may not know it, but to an Arco dealer, you're people. In the past, there was a big difference between the way your owner treated you and the way service stations treated you. Your owner treated you like a member of the family. Service stations treated you like a machine. At home, you were a trusted friend. In the shop, you were a stranger. Arco dealers have dedicated themselves to closing this gap. They have a service designed to treat you the way your owner treats you. Service designed to treat cars like people with Arco Supreme, gasoline that helps you breathe easy, and with Arco oils and lubricants to give you the care and protection you need. So cars of America, take heart. Go to your Arco dealer. You will never be treated like a machine again. To your Arco dealer, cars are people.
Field County Datsun dealer. And then that looks like the new pitcher for the California Angels, going to be the big right-hander, Lloyd Allen. As the starter, Tom Murphy, went out with the pinch hitter. Lloyd Allen, 6'1", 185 pounds. This is his second appearance in this series. And his fourth appearance against the Yankees. 5 innings, he has allowed 3 runs, 7 hits, walked 3, and struck out 1 against the Yankees. He has no one-loss record. Allen pitched 1 and 2/3 innings night before last. Was credited with a save as he came on in the 8th inning. Gave up 1 base hit, struck out 1 man. So Allen now ready to work to Ronnie Bloomberg, and it's back to Bill White.
All right, Frank Messer. Ronnie Bloomberg's 0 for 3. Allen, a right-hander. First pitch is outside a ball. Score's tied 1-1 with the last half of the 10th inning. The Yankees won the first game 3-0 as Fritz Peterson won his 12th game. Pitch to Bloomberg, hit on and miss. The ball and a strike. Ronnie's trying to get this ball game over with 1 swing. Now the Angels have made a change. They've left Tommy Reynolds in, and he's playing right field. And they've taken out Mickey Rivers and have put Allen in batting second. Pitch to Bloomberg is line foul in the upper deck on the left side. 1-2. So Phillips would like to get another at bat for Reynolds, who pinch hit for LaRoche in the 10th, and the Angels have the 10th. Now Allen's ready. The right-hander deals to Bloomberg. Bounce towards second base. Alomar charges it, takes a hop, throws over to Spencer, and Bloomberg is out. Here's Alou. Felipe Alou is 1 for 2. He scored the Yankees' only run. Felipe has also stolen a base. He stole second to get himself into scoring position for Clark's single to center. That's the Yankees' only run. Felipe bounces single to center field in the 5th. Misses the first pitch. That's over. Felipe looks like he's trying to win with a stroke. No balls and a strike. 1 out, nobody on. Murphy looking at Stevenson. Allen swings and misses. Alou, high fastball. No balls and 2 strikes on Felipe. Murphy was the starter. LaRoche came on in the 9th. Now it's Lloyd Allen. LaRoche a left-hander, Allen a right-hander. 0-2 pitch to Alou. Down low, Felipe started, held up just in time. 1-2. McMullen, the third baseman, now is near the line. He doesn't want to let a ball get by him on his right. He wants to hold the loop to a single. So's the first baseman, Spencer. Allen's ready. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball cut on, fouled off. Gets part of Nestor Shylock's chest protector. Outfield plays Felipe straight away. Now Alomar, the second baseman, moves over towards second, playing him to pull. 1-2 pitch. Driven to right field, down the line. A long run by Reynolds. Can he get to it? One-hands it and just grabs it in fair territory. Reynolds went a long way for that ball. He just got to it and got it in the web of his glove just before crashing into the wall, right down the right field line. So Reynolds robs the move, at least a double. And there are 2 outs now. Reynolds made a long run and grabbed that ball. Go away, here's Horace Bard. Hulse is 2 for 3. He's driven in the Yankees' only run. Batting left-handed. All strike. Allen with a little extra mustard on that one. They play all straight away in all field. Infield also straight away. Infield and outfield. No balls and a strike, 2 outs. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, cut on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Allen's ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Clark. Misses outside, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch now. Line foul down the left field line. Well, maybe that lefty Phillips is fortunate he got that right-handed fielder out there, Reynolds. Because Rivers, although he has better speed, would have had to reach across his body for that ball. Might not have gotten to it. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball pops up. McMullen, the third baseman, just a little bit in foul territory, waits on it, and he grabs it for the third out. So Clark fouls out to the third baseman, McMullen. And that's it for the Yankees in the 10th. 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 10. 4 tie. The Yankees 1, the Angels 1.
Every day we like to tell you just how you can obtain tickets for Yankee Stadium games for the 1971 season. It's really easy. You can buy them over the counter daily at Yankee Stadium and park free while you do your ticket shopping. The advance ticket office is located on the East 157th Street side of the stadium. You can buy tickets at the Yankees Ticketron box office on the mezzanine of Grand Central Station, open Monday through Saturday, and at some 100 Ticketron computer locations all over Greater New York. Tickets also are available at the AAA outlets of the Northern New Jersey Automobile Clubs in Oradell, Patterson, and Jersey City, and, of course, by mail. Simply send your ticket order along with your name and address to Ticket Manager, New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. Box seats are $4, reserved seats are $3, taxes included. Please add 25 cents to your total order for mailing and handling. Well, this extra inning ball game now goes to the top half of inning number 10. Mike Kekich still on the mound for the New York Yankees, top half of inning number 11 it is. And leading off, Billy Cowan for the California Angels. Bill?
All right, Frank Messer. Cowan is 0 for 4. Kekich is ready. Breaking ball popped up towards center field. Mercer's out, so is Baker. Bobby calls for it, waits on it, and grabs it for the first out. So Cowan, swinging on the first pitch, skies to Mercer in center field. Well, they're 1 out quickly now in the 11th. That'll bring in Sid O'Brien, the shortstop. O'Brien came in the 9th inning to replace Jim Fregosi at short. Fregosi evidently might be having a bit of trouble with that foot. I don't know. O'Brien bats right-handed. Takes the breaking ball outside. Score tied, 1-1. We're in the top of the 11th. Keggett is ready. Curveball cut on and missed. The Yankees have 1 run on 5 hits. They've made 3 errors. California 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Chris Peterson won his 12th ball game in the opener as he beat the Angels and shut them out 3-0. 1-1 pitch on O'Brien. Fastball is fouled off in the upper deck on the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck, the first baseman, Jim Spencer. O'Brien leaves that bat over the plate. Keggett, curveball, just misses inside. Close, 2-2. They play O'Brien straight away. Kenny hugging the line at third. 2-2 pitches outside of ball, way outside, not close. Full count now on O'Brien. Mike is upset with himself for throwing that pitch that far out of the strike zone. That wasn't close. Now Mike looking at it much. Herm gives him the sign. Mike likes it. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball, foul straight back. Still 3-2. Well, the Yankees have a Lou at first, Clark at second, Baker at shortstop, Kenny at third. The outfield, White, Mercer, and Bloomberg, reading from left to right. The catcher, Thurman Munson. Keggett is ready with the 3-2 pitch. Fastball bounced right back to Mike. Mike stabs it over the first base, and they're 2 out. And here's Spencer. Spencer's 0 for 3. He's walked, slides to right, fouled out to the first base, and a little humpback liner to Clark. This guy scares you, even though he's left-handed, batting against the left-handed pitching Keggett. Sidearm curveball is outside. Kenny Berry on deck. Score's tied 1-1 in the top of the 11th. Not much hitting. Only 9 hits this whole ball game. Curveball down low. 2 balls and no strikes. The Yankees have 5 hits. The Angels 4. Each team has a run. They picked up their run in the second when a Lou walked, stole second with 2 outs, and was singled in by Horace Clark. Curveball cut on and missed. 2-1. The Angels came back in the third and picked up the run. The Yankees played a little loose baseball there. They made 3 errors in that third inning. Were lucky to get out, only giving up 1 run. And the score's tied 1-1. Keggett is ready. Over the head. 2-1 pitch. Almost hits him inside a breaking ball. 3-1. Mike has pitched well. Last time out, he lost. Still inconsistent early, but he only gave up 2 hits. Now he's given up 4. Curveball misses inside, ball 4, and Spencer walks. So Jim Spencer jogs on down the first base, and that's the 5th walk given up by Keggett. That'll bring in Kenny Berry, the center fielder. Let's see, Spencer. The guy at first has no stolen bases, so you might not have to watch him too closely. Lou holds him at first, though. Berry is 2 for 4. Keggett checks Spencer. He doesn't have a lead at all at first. Pitch to Berry's bounce to shortstop. Baker loves it. Over to Clark. They force Spencer at second base. And that's it for the Angels. Keggett holds them off once more. For California in the 11th. No runs, no hits. There was 1 walk and a man left on. So at the end of 10 and a half, the New York Yankees won, the California Angels won.
The village blacksmith was one of the men who built America. He shod many a horse, forged many a plow, and built many a mighty thirst. A more than one beer thirst. The kind of thirst that took more than 1 cold beer to satisfy. And that's where Schaefer came in.
We built a beer for the men who built America. We started practicing on more than one beer thirsts back before most brewers even started brewing. And practice makes perfect. Today, Schaefer has the unmatched quality of flavor that never fades. Schaefer is made for the more than one beer man. Always has been, always will be.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Well, Danny Cater, a right-hand batter, is going to come out and swing for Frank Baker against the right-hander Lloyd Allen here in the bottom half of the 11th inning. Yankees show a better record in overtime games than do the California Angels. The Angels in extra innings have won 6, lost 8. The New York Yankees in extra innings have won 8 and lost 5. So right now, Danny Cater will try to get himself on and see what happens here in the bottom half of the 11th. Bill?
All right, Frank Metzer. Cater overall batting .262. As a pinch hitter, he's batting .333. He's 2 for 6. He has a couple of RBIs. He's then facing Lloyd Allen, a big right-hander for the Angels. And Allen gets the first pitch and a called strike. And Gene Michaels in the on-deck circle. That looks like that might be all for Kekich. House feels he's gone far enough. The 0-1 pitch now. Cater. Line foul.
Jack Aker is staying loose out in the Yankee bullpen. He was warming up, and now staying loose out there.
Of course, Kekich is a fine bunter. In case Cater can get on here. It wouldn't take anything for Mike to leave that dugout, walk past Michael, and sacrifice. The pitch now to Cater. Up the middle. Fumbled by the pitch, Allen, but it falls in front of him, picks it up, and gets Cater at first. And Michael will now, he'll hit for Kekich. Kekich has pitched fine baseball. He's only given up 1 run on 4 hits. Michael is 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. That's the .250 average. He's got an RBI. He bats left-handed against Allen. Score side 1-1. We're in the last of the 11th. Allen deals the first pitch. Swung on, hit toward left field on the line. Collins after it. Can he get to it? No! And it's a fair ball. It'll be a ground rule double. That ball hit under Collins' glove, bounced into the left field stand. So Michael on at second base with a ground rule double. And the Yankees have quite a bit of life here. Just score side 1-1. Winning run at second base. Gene Michael comes through. So Michael now 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter. That's 400. So the winning run at second base. And Jerry Kinney's the hitter. They're going to walk him. They're going to pitch to Munson.
That's the first extra base hit in the ball game for either club, I believe.
They're walking Kinney. That's ball 3. There's 1 out. Michael is taking a score side 1-1. The Yankees now have 6 hits. The Yankees trying to win 2 here. Won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. And Kenny now dogs on down to first base. And Johnny Stevenson reminds Mr. Allen that there's 1 out. That Gene Michaels at second. Kenny's at first. And Munson's at it. Thurman got into this ball game back in the 9th when he pinch hit for Jake Gibbs. With Kekich on at second. And Munson was intentionally fast. Mercer flied to left and White flied to center to end that cut. The Yankees would have got a run there. We wouldn't have been here, but we're here. And the score is tied 1-1. Munson with the open stand. First pitch to him. Breaking ball, cut on, and that ball got past Stevenson. And Kenny evidently, Michael and Kenny evidently thought the ball was fouled off. It was not fouled off. It got about 10 yards past Stevenson toward the Yankee dugout. He jumped on it quickly and held Michael at second base. No balls and 1 strike on Munson. Michael leads from second, Kenny from first. Now Gene takes a bigger lead at second. Takes another step off. Allen still looking at his catcher, Stevenson. Michael with a big lead at second. He's checked there. Alomar will try to get him. Allen backs off as Alomar pulls into second base behind Michael. He's got back all right. Now Allen looks at it. Gene with a big lead at second. The 0-1 pitch to Munson. Bounce for a shortstop. O'Brien's up with it. Over to second for 1. Throw to first. Not in time. Munson beats the relay. So Michael moves to third base. Munson's on at first, and here comes Lefty Phillips. There are 2 outs, and the batter's Bobby Mercer.
Lefty may want a left-hander to come in here and pitch to Mercer. I don't know. We'll see in just a second.
Or he might want to walk Mercer, load the bases up, although Munson's at first. Let's see what Lefty does here. Anyway, Michael is at second. Munson's at first. And this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Let's pause for station identification.
This is WGY, a General Electric Broadcasting Company station, Schenectady, New York.
Well, let's see now. Now Nestor Salak starts talking to Lefty Phillips. He wants to get some action here. And they've gone. They've left. Phillips is going to go back to the dugout. Stevens comes back behind the plate. There are 2 outs. Michael's at third. Munson's at first. Score tied 1-1. We're in the 11th. They're going to pitch to Mercer. Bobby's 1 for 4. First pitch is a called strike. No balls and strike. 2 outs. Lloyd Allen, the right-hander. Ball game on the bases. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Bounce foul on the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes. Spencer, the first baseman, is allowing Munson all the room he wants. He's playing all the way back there to the grass. Michael's at third. Munson's at first. Now Allen looks in, backs off. Now the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive, left to the field. That's all. It's going to be a base hit. Yankees win the ball game. Munson tags second. Michael tags the plate, and that's it. The Yankees win 2-1. How about that? Lefty Phillips chose to pitch to Bobby Mercer, and Mercer lined an 0-2 pitch into left center field, and the Yankees win 2 ball games. So to recap this inning, first of all, Danny Cater batted for Baker, and he bounced out pitch to the first. Gene Michael batted for Kekich, and he lined the ball down the left field line that hit and bounced into the seats out of reach of Billy Cowan for a ground rule double. Jerry Kinney was intentionally walked. Munson forced Kinney at second, and with runners on first and third, Lefty Phillips elected to pitch to Bobby Mercer. Mercer hit the 0-2 pitch down the left center field for the Yankees' winning run as Michael touched the plate, and the Yankees win it 2-1. And Frank, I'll go over here and relieve Phil. You want to give the recap?
Okay, I sure will. Let's look at the totals on it right now. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. And California, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. Mike Kekich gets the win. His record is 7-6. And the Yankees go 2 games over 500 for the first time this year. They have now won 60 and lost 58. The losing pitcher is Lloyd Allen. His record is 4-4. The Yankees won the first game 3-0 behind Fritz Peterson. So the two Yankee left-handers pitch the victories. Peterson with a shutout in the first game, and Kekich gave up 5 hits less than Peterson and had to take a 2-1 extra inning victory. Longest Kekich has gone in a ball game this year. So the Yankees now have some momentum going. So do the Oakland A's coming in for the weekend 3-game series tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Should be interesting and exciting out here at Yankee Stadium. You've been putting off going to a ball game this year. Certainly think that now might be an excellent time to change your mind and get out and see one. The action should be thick and heavy here at Yankee Stadium over the weekend. Tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. Well, that's it. The Yankees sweep the twin bill from the California Angels and extend their record to 60 wins, 58 losses. The California Angels go out of New York for the last time this year with a record of 55 wins and 64 defeats. Our broadcast coordinator and statistician is Bill Kane. Our engineer is Frank Steele. And now on behalf of Bill White and Bill Recheduled, this is Frank Musser saying so long from Yankee Stadium in New York. Once again, the final score in the second game was New York 2 and California 1. Today's game was brought to you by Schaefer Brewery, New York, Albany, New York, and Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And by the Atlantic Brick Steel Company, makers of Arco's Supreme Gasoline, which cleans carburetors for good mileage. Remember, you may only get a little more mileage, but sometimes that's enough. New York Yankee Radio is produced in association with Hughes Sports Network.
Okay, let's go with contact on.